What is up, fam? How are you? Today is gonna be a reading from the Morrighan. If you clicked on this video, it's because there's probably something in here you need to hear. A message that she has for you. I'm gonna be pulling from this Crow Tarot. I actually already have a card. I was originally gonna pull one card, but a second card came with it, so I'm also gonna look at that. So yeah, and we're just gonna go off these two cards, and I'm just gonna channel and deliver whatever comes out. So, first of all, she's incredibly proud of you for everything that you've done. And so we pulled the Justice card, right? She wants you to know that no matter what has happened to you, it wasn't for no reason. Anybody who treated you unfairly or caused you harm, it wasn't even meant to teach you a lesson about anything. In a way, it was meant to help you to spark the warrior spirit that you have. Right? It was meant to ignite this warrior within you. This crown, she's telling you, fix your crown, right? You are royalty. And you are meant to have everything in this life that you desire, that you want to have. Anything in your life that you want to be there will be there. I was watching another video today, and the girl was explaining how the outside 3D world is like the masculine, and our internal world, which I think she was calling the 4D, or somebody in the comments was calling it 4, I don't know. But anyway, the inner world is like your feminine world, right? And the masculine world, the masculine is supposed to provide the feminine with whatever she wants. So the outside, the masculine, is projecting how you feel on the inside. If you don't like what you see when you turn inward, that's what's reflected on the outside. So if you're uncomfortable on your outside, it's because there's an imbalance on the inside. I also, thinking about 3D, 4D, 5D, I had this experience earlier where I was cleaning, and I took my cinnamon around, which I'll burn some now too, for this tapping sound. Sometimes when I go to sleep at night, I hear a sound that sounds like that. And I had this realization today that if everything is happening simultaneously all at once, we're in every timeline at once, right? So you're on every plane of existence. You're in every dimension. But you can only access the one that you're currently in. But for some reason, when I lay down to go to sleep, I am open to the other dimensions, or the different timelines. And in a way, it's like you're merging with who you are. You're merging with who you are at that level. Right? So when I heard this tapping sound, I was like, wait a minute. That's me doing that. But when I'm laying in bed, like half asleep, and I hear that sound, I think it's like my neighbor or someone else. But I realized it's me in a different point in time, hearing myself doing my cleaning. Like, yeah, I don't know. So if somebody needed to hear that. I also had another an experience like that a long time ago, about 5 years ago, when I would lay down to go to bed. I would hear somebody typing on the keyboard, and I lived alone. It was just me and my cat. So like I don't know if my cat knows how to type on the keyboard, but I would hear typing on the keyboard. And at that time, I was spending a lot of time, like in the daytime, at my computer typing on the keyboard. So I think just when I went to lay down, I was so relaxed that I was accessing those other layers that existed. And it was just, it made me think of like the people who think that they're experiencing like possessions or spiritual or like ghost entities, but what if it's just you in a different time period that you're accessing at the same time? Because sound is vibration, right? And if we're vibrating at a certain level, we can access those other vibrations. I don't know, maybe you think I'm wacko. That's fine too. Let me know what you think about it down below. Start a discussion. I'm curious to see if anybody else has had experiences like that. Let's look at this other card though. We have the Ace of Cups. So this also goes back to the loving yourself, self-love, loving others. Because there is a second crow here. There's a crow that's looking into, so this is like a reflection. And then there's this crow over here by the sun. This looks like fire, passion. There's some lotus flowers under here. Lotus flowers grow in mud. So any adversity that you have been through has been to help you blossom and become the person that you are today. Okay, this looks like a sun, an extra sun. This is showing me reflection. So reflection and balance. There's thinking back to looking inward. When you look inward, ask yourself if you like what you see. And if the answer is no, ask yourself, what would you rather see? Like, who would you rather be? And then be that. Like, what would you want to be doing with your time if you could do anything you wanted? Recently, the thing that prompted this whole reading in the first place was because today I was studying Celtic religion and goddess religion. And so then I thought, well, let's finish this reading that I started the other day. And I don't even know what I said in the previous video, but that's fine. This is a new time zone. I'm seeing different perspectives. So we have, in this one, the crow is looking up at the crown. In this one, there's a crow looking at the water. And then this crow is also kind of looking at the water, but this crow's looking at this crow looking at the water. So I'm hearing observe, be an observer. And I have this quote somewhere, I don't know where I put it recently, but observe, but don't absorb. So be an observer. Observe your surroundings without taking them in, right? Don't take it so personally. And I also have this bad habit where somebody will do something and it's because they're not having a good day, and I'll take it personally and I'll think, oh, well, I did something and they're mad at me. But it has nothing to do with me. It's their own thing. So observe and allow yourself to shed anything that does not belong to you. So just brush it away. I've actually had this other realization recently that I am very sensitive to energy that is outside of me. So other people's feelings, other people's emotions, other people's thought energies, I can feel them. And they're actually stronger than my own emotions, which is very interesting when I feel them. When I feel these emotions, these very strong emotions, I have to stop and ask myself, are these even mine? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're from outside of me, and I've just picked them up like a little sponge. And then I start feeling these things, and they're very disruptive. And then I realize it's this other person that's having this emotion, and I, being a mirror, am trying to transmute it for them, but it's not my emotion. It's their emotion that they need to sort out. But because it's been reflected through me, like I like have to learn how to not hold on to it. I have to learn how to balance receiving other people's emotions and also keeping in tune with my own emotions. Most of the time, emotionally, I'm very stable because I have a very strong yoga practice, meditation practice. So I'm very connected and in tune with how I feel. So when I get these other emotions that are from other people's, like, coming at me, that's what it's what it says. That's what it feels like, is like they're coming at me, but they're not. It's just their emotions are being reflected, and instead of me reflecting it, I like absorb it for some reason, and like I'm trying to figure out how to not do that. So when I figure it out, I will let you know. This is okay, so the sun is fiery energy, right? And the water is cooling energy, which is also back to the balancing. So it's like when these energies come to us, we have to like burn them up and send them away. In the Spiral Dance book that I've been reading by Starhawk, there was some exercises in it today that I'm being called to share with you. So one of them is drawing shadows, which is actually a practice that I started doing. Let me find the book. I have so many notebooks. Okay. So I'm going to share some of my shadows with you. It sounds so ominous. This is my meditation journal. After I do a yoga or meditation or something, I keep the notes in here. So I'm not going to show you like the writing part, but the shadow, so like something like this, right? So just draw the shadows that you see. Here's another little one. And then just, it helps you to think in a different way. And then the second exercise is listening to the rhythm. So listening to the different sounds that are around you without attaching meaning to anything. So I practiced this today because I have this habit of, since I read cards and stuff, I'm like trying to learn how to turn off that intuitive part. Not to turn it off, but like to, because I only want to use it when I need it, right? I don't want to use it all the time. That's exhausting. But I used to have this habit of, I would hear a sound and I'd be like, oh, what's the meaning of this? Like, we don't need to know the meaning every second of every day, right? Sometimes the sounds are just sounding and they don't have a meaning for us in the moment. Unless you're asking a question, asking the universe a question and listening for an answer. So today I was practicing this, just observing the, what do I want to say, radio waves, the rhythm of sounds. So I would listen. There was a couple police cars going by. And usually when I hear police cars, I'm like, oh, authority and safety and blah, 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 blah. But at this point, I was just like, all right, just listen. Just listen to it. Let it go. And it was really peaceful because I didn't attach a meaning to it. I didn't try to hold on to the moment. And I think that is also essential for flowing with life. Flowing with the changes. Oh, I just noticed this sword here too. Mental stimulation is just what came to mind. So I'm picking up all of we have the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, physical, because crowns symbolize authority, but royalty, and usually royalty has to deal with wealth, so material things. All of these things are coming into balance when you look inward and clear out the things that don't fit, don't work, anything that you no longer resonate with, clear it out, let it be, right? And if there's a part of you on the inside that you're struggling to accept, like if you did something in the past that you feel guilty or ashamed of, these are the parts that need the most attention, right? So you have to learn how to forgive yourself. You have to learn how to apologize to yourself for maybe not protecting yourself when you maybe could have. You have to remind yourself that you did the best that you could with what you had at that time, right? They say hindsight is 20/20. I don't know if the year 2020 is a significant thing here, but when we're where we are and we look back to where we were, there's this sense of, I could have done something different. I could have. But at that time, you did not know what you know now. So at that time, you could not have because you didn't know. So you can't fault yourself for not knowing what you know now that you didn't know then. Right? But now that you know, you can thank that part of yourself for helping you to be where you are now, right? As I was saying before, we live on all of these planes of existence at the same time, right? So who you were then is still a part of you now. They're just not as prominent, maybe, because we grow and we evolve, right? We become who we are, but we're always becoming. We're always becoming this, whatever this is, we're always becoming. But in order to become, you have to accept and thank and appreciate what was. And it's very weird because there's also the belief that what was doesn't exist and what will be doesn't exist, right? All that is right here, right now. So, bear with me. With that being said, what was and what will be are already now. So in this now moment, It's important to thank yourself. Give yourself a hug, a pat on the back, right? What you went through, whatever you went through, helped you to become who you are now. And that's a beautiful thing, right? We've survived 100% of our worst days. You are a, excuse my language, motherfucking survivor. You did that. You're wearing this crown, right? You're wearing that. 11 might be significant, by the way. 11's 11, the gateway, right? So you're transforming. Morrighan is all about transformation. You're transforming into who you want to be, who you are. You're shedding the past self, this illusory self. You're taking off your mask. You're looking at who you are. You're burning up all the things that other people told you you were, or things that do not belong to you will fade away if you sit where you are now and accept that moment. I feel like I am like repeating myself over and over again, but hopefully the message is across. Crosses could be significant. Maybe you're coming out of religious dogma. You're trying to find, or you're trying to re-find yourself after leaving some kind of religious dogma, right? You're reinventing yourself, so to speak. Again, that's that old self shedding itself, like a snake, right? Every once in a while we have to shed. Biologically, we regenerate new cells technically every night, but like I think they say every 7 years you have completely new cells. And then this makes me think of the ship of Theseus. If all of your old cells were saved and put into made another human, which one is the original human? Is the human made of dead cells still human? Would it even be alive? I don't know. We're getting philosophical now. This is getting really long, but I hope that it was helpful, enlightening. I hope it made you think about something. And by all means, you're allowed to think that I'm wrong. You can have your own beliefs. You don't have to believe anything I say. I don't even believe what I say half the time. But it's fun to think about things, right? Yeah. This is fun. I'm gonna leave it here. Leave me a cute little message in the comments if this resonated with you, or if you received anything from it, or if you have differing opinions. I love hearing differing opinions. Let's talk about it. All right. I hope you continue learning things and gaining new perspectives and growing into the best and beautiful self that you are. I love you so much. I'm very proud of you. The Morrighan is also very proud of you. I know we've said that in the beginning, but she wanted to remind you. Yeah. So I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day, lovelies, and